Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Sister Who Stutters, or Sister With A Stutter, I'm sorry. I'm back with my amazing person as a co-host, Mr. Avery.
Hey,
Welcome
how
back.
y'all doing? Welcome back, welcome back. Look, it feels good to be back. I feel like our first episode was great, but I also feel like it was a while ago, you know what I mean? So I've been looking forward to doing a second episode because we have a lot of awareness to spread. And I know especially you got some things to get off your chest. You got some things to let the people know and today is a good episode to do so. So let's do it.
Yes, yes, I'm excited. So we have some great topics that we'll be talking about today. The first is what is stuttering and what it isn't. So I wanted to start off by saying stuttering is just something that happens when we're younger. It's it can come from stress, trauma, anxiety, anything. It can start when you're 3 years old, or it can come on at age 18.
Mhm.
So it it can vary around those different topics. But my first question that I have, or topic that I want to talk about, is how common is stuttering? So more than 80 million people worldwide are people who stutter, which is an
Mm.
amazing number when you're talking about the entire population on the earth.
Yeah, oh
It's,
yeah.
it's amazing. And that's actually considered 1% of the population.
Oh wow.
That's like, it's crazy to me to think that 80 million people is 1% of the population that stutters.
Wow.
Um, and in the US itself, there's 3 million people who stutter.
Mm.
So just in the 50 states, like there's too many people. There could be a person right next door to you, or in a different state that stutters, which is amazing to me. So when I like read that, I was like 80 million people worldwide. That's just insane.
And honestly, I mean, you spitting out that fact, I mean that is kind of like shocking because I mean the 80 million that's a really large number. But if you really think about it, like I've come across lots of people in my life that stutter or has stuttered in the past, you know what I mean? So it's not like some crazy thing that is just like so shocking. Like, oh wow, like this is a person who stutters. I've never experienced that before. Most likely throughout your life, you're going to run into somebody who stutters. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I mean, it's not a crazy, shocking, huge ordeal. You know what I mean? It's a common. It's pretty common, and and because of that, I feel like people should embrace stutterers and stuttering more. You know what I mean? Because it is likely that you'll face someone or you'll come across someone with a stutter.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. And with that being said, like I never met anybody who stuttered until I was middle school, maybe
Hmm.
high school at the latest. And then I never been around a group of people who stuttered until maybe 4 years ago. And it was like an amazing setting to be in, just to be around people who are like me. And there's no judgment, there's no ridicules, there's no teasing, bullying, or anything, because they're all just like you.
Hmm.
So just to having that support is amazing.
Hmm.
So the next question people usually ask is, what is stuttering? Stuttering is to speak with involuntary disruptions or blocking of a speech by repetition or prolonged vocal sounds. So each person has a different stutter. Um, with me, it's the first letter of a certain word that just not come that just doesn't want to come out. So that blocking on that first letter of certain words that won't come out. And then there are people who say a word multiple times and then it finally comes out smoothly.
Hmm.
Or they repeat a certain letter or a certain syllable in that word until it comes out smoothly. So
Hmm.
each person is different with their stuttering. So it's kind of like a unique thing about you.
Hmm. Hmm. So in your case, like for like specifically for you, like, do you feel like when you stutter, it's more of a mental or a physical thing?
Both, I guess I could say both. It depends on the word
Hmm.
that I'm trying to say. If it's like a word that starts with a D or G, it's more physical because I feel it in my arms and I
Mm.
tense up more. But if it's in like an S or an F or anything like that,
Hmm.
the soft sounds, it's more mental.
Mm.
Um,
Got you.
but like the hard sounds, like they're more physical and they're like it takes over my whole body.
Hmm.
So, but for somebody else, it could be opposite. Like
Right, right.
the hard sounds can be mental, and the soft sounds can be like the one that they struggle with a lot of like movement in their bodies and all that stuff.
Mm. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, so knowing that, like, I mean, this kind of leads us into our second topic of how has stuttering like affected you in the school district, or even having conversations with family and friends, opposed to having a conversation with someone you don't know, a complete stranger.
That's a good question because it it depends on that person. If another person stutters and they're also a stranger, I'm comfortable. Like if I have a friend that knows a stranger and they introduce that person as a person who stutters, I'm automatically more calmer and I'm less stressed out. I'm less anxious.
Hmm.
But with an, another stranger that I don't know anything about, I'm more stressed out because I don't know what they're going to say or what they're going to think about me being a person who stutters.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, so it's like with me, I tend to not stutter or try not to stutter around people that are new to me because I don't want to be judged by that person.
yeah,
So that brings a lot of weight on me to to keep thinking you're okay. Please don't stutter. If you do, they'll judge you. So
yeah.
relax, calm down, try your best to not stutter.
Yeah, no, yeah, I completely get that. Yeah, I completely
Yeah,
because I don't consider myself a person who stutters, but there are times when I do stutter, you know what I mean? And especially with this new job, I have to talk in front of people. And I think like you were
yeah,
saying, like, speaking in front of people who are like actively judging you, making sure you're saying the right thing and conveying yourself in the right way, I can put a lot of pressure on you, you know what I mean? Like to not mess up, you know what I mean?
right,
So sometimes, into our own heads, we kind of throw our own game off because we're like, I want to be careful here and I want to be as smooth as possible so that these people, these outsiders, accept us. But
right.
I've started to learn more and more as of lately is that I am who I am, and how I talk is how I talk, you know what I mean? And what you get out of me is what you get out of me, you know what I mean? Like I try to just be as relaxed as possible and just kind of say and do what I have to do. And if I put my best efforts in it, then that's enough for me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't really care about your judgment, you know what I mean? And but as a person who stutters, I can really understand how that could be even more frustrating because you're a
yeah,
person who does stutter, but now you on top of that you have to consider what other people might think of you, you know what I mean? Or
exactly.
how to please them, you know what I'm saying? When in actuality,
Yeah,
I mean, who cares, you know what I'm saying? Like you are who you are, and if a person is really a good person and a kind person, then they wouldn't let that get in the way of how they view you. You know what I mean? So
Right. And to piggyback off what you said, it's just taking me some time to accept the fact that I do stutter.
Hmm.
And just to be around people is nerve-wracking. And that makes me want to like, dang, why me? Like, why am I the one who stutters?
Yeah.
But I'm starting to learn more that this is who I am, that
Yeah.
I like, there are therapies and sessions that you can go to help, but this stutter makes me unique. And if you
Hmm.
don't accept it, I'm sorry, but you're not going to change me because this is who I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like our mom used to always say, God gives his battles to his strongest warriors, and
Hmm.
I believe I'm that strong warrior, and
Definitely.
like that it brings a lot of like there are times where I'm like I don't want to do this anymore. Like I'm tired of this stutter. I want it gone forever.
Uh-huh.
But then I realized what would I or who would I be without this stutter?
Hmm.
Would I have met the friends that I've made, or would I have gone in the same direction that I've been going, or like what would I be?
Hmm. Hmm.
And I met people who laugh in my face, who are like just oblivious
Yeah.
to just the stuttering community. But there are a lot of allies out there. There are a lot of people who, when you tell them you're stutter, like that you stutter, they're like, oh, okay. And
Right.
then you just go on to like the conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you don't care that I stutter? So let's
Hmm.
continue on with the conversation.
Hmm.
And just getting the thought that people are going to judge you out my head is one of the things that I'm trying to work on, that people don't care that you stutter.
Hmm.
You're just you're just any other person that they're talking to at that moment, and
Right.
they can wait that 2 seconds. So
Yeah.
it's it's like it's inspiring to know that people accept you for who you are, and they're there for you whenever.
Yeah, yeah. Well, a few things. Yes, it is tiring. It is tiring to always have to consider how you're going to be accepted. And that's why I tend to really not even think about that anymore. As long as the people around me are proud of me and you know, I make them happy. But my second point is like those people who laugh and make fun of whoever, anyone with, you know, a certain insecurity or whatever, they too themselves are insecure. You know what I'm saying? Like they have some insecurities that they still haven't really faced or, you know, uh, I mean, they just have a lot of work that they still have to, you know, do, you know, within
Yeah.
on a personal level. So you got to understand that that most times those people are going through going through things as well, and they just, you know, they just, when it comes to self-development, they just got a long way to go. You know what I'm saying? They got a long way to
Hmm.
go. But I do have a question for you. The actual act of stuttering, is it something that could be improved on with like different tactics and techniques, you know, over a course of time, or is it just something that you're going to have to deal with forever?
There are some techniques that people have tried that work on
Mm-hmm.
them. Like you see, actors like Steve Harvey that has a stutter when he was younger, and now he's
Oh,
not fluent, but he knows how to control his stutter.
yeah,
So I guess the topics that he was taught growing up, he uses now, and that's helped him become more fluent in his speech.
yeah, oh yeah,
And then Joe Biden, he has a stutter, and comes out every now and then. Like I can hear that stutter,
hmm,
but again, like those techniques that he learned when he was growing up, he's probably been using forever, and that's helped him become more fluent over the years.
right, right, right.
I've tried techniques, and some work and some don't. So I kind of gotten like discouraged on using techniques because it's like it's a hit and miss.
Hmm.
Um, and I like once I get excited about one technique that works, there's one that doesn't, and then I'm like, okay, so it's like at square one.
Hmm.
So now what?
Yeah.
But I guess it just depends on the techniques that you're offered, and if you decide to practice those techniques throughout your life, and then go from there to see your progress throughout the years.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, man, I love my stutterer. I love you and I'm proud of you, so I don't see a stutter ever holding you back. Honestly, I really don't. You're capable of doing anything you put your mind to. Like seriously, you're just that type of person that can just achieve, you know what I mean? So, don't let that stutter, hold you down or whatever, and I got your back. And, to everyone, out there who's listening that has a stutter, just remain confident in who you are, as a person, as a kind individual, as an achiever, and don't let mean words and people who just don't feel good about themselves pull you down. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's really all they want to do. So let's keep on spreading awareness. This was a really good episode. And I think a lot of viewers and listeners will really benefit from this episode. We covered some really good topics, and we just got to keep doing this, man. Honestly, we got to keep doing it. Keep putting out information because there are people that will listen and see this video, and it will have a positive impact on their lives. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
let's keep it up. I'm proud of you, and we'll be back next week covering more topics regarding stuttering and ending the stigma of stutterers. So yeah, we'll be back.
And stigma around stuttering.
End
Let's do this,
stigma
y'all.
around stuttering. You know it. You know it, man. So I'm proud of you, girl. Let's keep going, and we'll be back next week. You see, I just stuttered. You know what I'm saying? Like it just happens. Sometimes it
Yeah,
just happens. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Yeah, sometimes it
yeah.
happens. So
So
we will be back next week with more.
yes, yes. So please stay tuned. If you have any questions, comments, I will link down all my social media in the info below, and I will have my email and a phone number so y'all can reach out, text me, whatever, and then we'll get those questions answered. I'm so excited to be doing this with you, Avery.
Yeah, for sure,
Um,
definitely.
just this is what I've been wanting to do for forever. So I'm
Yep,
excited to keep this going. So we'll
yep,
see y'all next week with
yep,
some more amazing topics.
yep.
And yeah,
Yep. And y'all click the like button for sure. We need you to do that. Click the
and
follow.
subscribe,
Yeah, subscribe and
please.
follow. Guys, you got to tune in, man. We're coming to y'all with some really good information, some information that you can really use. We're really spreading some awareness around stuttering, and and the whole point of this is to allow you to be a better person and to understand people who might not necessarily be like you. So tune in. We're gonna keep the content coming, and we'll be back next week. Peace.
Bye.